What is up, guys? It is Jed Wrestling here. The 2025 Royal Rumble Premium Live event is fast approaching, and I am very hyped. Not just because the Royal Rumble is one of my favorite events WWE puts on each year, but just because of the sheer amount of surprise entrants we could see in both the men's and women's Royal Rumbles. Today, I'm going to be taking different people and dissecting whether or not I think they would be in the match. So what? And then I'm gonna say either yes or no, depending on if I think they're gonna come back or not. So first up, we have Randy Orton. We haven't seen Randy Orton since he ate a pile driver by Kevin Owens. He was sort of in a little feud with Kevin Owens that coincided with Cody Rhodes a little bit. We haven't seen him since then. He has to return in some capacity at the Royal Rumble. He absolutely needs to return. It's either going to be in the men's Rumble match or in the ladder match for the undisputed title. Not gonna lie, I think the ladder match is more likely. I don't see Randy Orton coming back in the men's Royal Rumble, and I think he is gonna come back. I think he's gonna be in the ladder match. Not in the ladder match, but he's gonna come out during the ladder match and screw Kevin Owens. So, well, we're just talking like Royal Rumble match wise. So Royal Rumble match wise, this is a no for me. I do not think Randy Orton is going to come back there. Goldberg is going to be having his last ever match this year, and it's reported that he's not just going to be having one match, he's going to be having multiple matches in the lead up to his final match. So there's a chance that he could show up in the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is probably going to be already pretty stacked already, at least on the men's side, because we already got John Cena, we already got Jey Uso. I think they could put people like Roman Reigns and CM Punk in there, maybe Seth Rollins, maybe Drew McIntyre just for a little more star power because the roster is insane. They have the chance to make this the greatest men's rumble of all time. I'm telling you. Does this match need Goldberg? Maybe not particularly, but does Goldberg's sort of little retirement tour need the Royal Rumble? Possibly. So I think Goldberg will be in the Royal Rumble. That's going to be a yes for me. Goldberg will be in that match, mark my words. They've kind of fallen off Legends surprise entrance over the past few years. In 2023, we had Booker T in the men's and Michelle McCool in the women's. Last year, we had no Legends surprises in either the men's or women's Royal Rumble, which quite a few people were disappointed about. But I feel like this is the year they could revive it. And if they were to choose a legend who's like who's still healthy and still able to wrestle, I think they should go with Rob Van Dam. That would be my choice for the men's rumble, sort of like flashback surprise. I would go with Rob Van Dam. He was on the ECW edition of NXT, sort of. He did some stuff there. So I do think Rob Van Dam it could come back in this rumble. If they do want to continue on the trend of legend surprises, which I can see them just abandoning that altogether, they might think that it's just more fitting to have the current guys in there, maybe some surprise returns that are going to go full time and people like Rob Van Dam who aren't going to come back to the company full time, they might not see that as being very necessary. But I think if they were to put Rob Van Dam in this match, that would be absolutely fire. The interactions he could have with the current roster, he could do stuff with Logan Paul. He could run it back with Rey Mysterio, maybe. He could do some stuff with these high flyers, and I think that would be really cool. So if they do call up legends, I think Rob Van Dam would be in that match. So I guess that would be a yes. First women's surprise entrant we're going to be looking at today. She was in the crowd on Raw's Netflix premiere, so I wanted to throw her in. We got Nikki Bella. She was sort of being interviewed afterwards, and she was asked, could we see the Bella twins back in WWE? And she sort of said like she's scouting the competition a little bit. She teased that she could get back involved in the WWE ring in some capacity. So possibly we could see her in the Women's Royal Rumble, but I don't know. I don't really see this as being very likely. So I'm probably gonna vote no here. Would I like to see it? Yes, but as for likelihood, because we're just looking at likelihood here. If I'm like not interested in something, but I think it's still gonna happen, I'm gonna vote yes, obviously. But we're just looking at likelihood here, so I think Nikki Bella will not come back. AJ Styles, not AJ Lee. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. AJ Styles has been out of action with a broken foot. I believe he got injured in October. I don't actually know what the severity of his injury is. He hasn't really offered too much. It was supposed to be like a worked injury. It was like a match with Carmelo Hayes. He did this flip off the ropes. It was supposed to be a worked injury, but it somehow ended up becoming a real injury, which I thought was a very interesting scenario. But AJ Styles, when he comes back, he's reportedly going to be doing a retirement tour for him too. So we've got so far three people going on retirement tours in WWE. Cena, Goldberg, Styles, which is actually really sad. But AJ Styles, if he's healed, he's absolutely going to come back in the Royal Rumble. So look out for that. I don't. Like I said, I don't know the severity of his injury. So if he's not ready to come back yet, he's obviously not going to come back. But if he is ready, then this is absolutely the place. So I'm gonna vote yes for AJ Styles. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. I thought for sure she was gonna come back on the Raw Netflix premiere, but she did not. And I've got a few surprises happening in the Women's Royal Rumble, a few big surprises that I'm gonna be sharing soon. So I don't really know if Becky Lynch would really. I don't know if this would really be the spot for her in this Women's Royal Rumble match. She could return. You never know. I think this is kind of 50-50. Like if the people that I have here do return, then they might not want to feature Becky Lynch. They might think that it's a little too stacked already. They don't want to like overstack the Rumble, which I think would be understandable. But I feel like if I don't know, I'm gonna vote no. No, I'm gonna vote no on Becky Lynch. I don't think she will come back in the Women's Royal Rumble. That's just me. The next Women's Royal Rumble surprise we have here is Charlotte Flair. Now, this is going to be a yes for me. I think Charlotte Flair will come back. We haven't seen her in a long time, ever since December. So I think December 2023. So I think she will come back here. I think this is the time. It was supposed to be like, I forgot the time frame, but I heard reports that she was like recovering sooner than anticipated. So I would assume she's going to return soon. What could she do? I don't know. Maybe go after Rhea Ripley because they have some fantastic chemistry together. Their WrestleMania 39 match kicked all kinds of butt. That was awesome. But Charlotte Flair, I think she will come back in the Royal Rumble. That would be a yes for me. This one, no, I don't really see many people talking about this one, but I know some people will be curious about my take on it because I've talked about this guy a little bit, so I'm gonna put him in here. We got Brock Lesnar. Now he was supposed to come back in the Royal Rumble 2024. That was confirmed. He was gonna fight Gunther at WrestleMania. He was gonna fight Dominic Mysterio at Elimination Chamber, which I'm actually really sad we never got. That would have been a really fun match. But Brock Lesnar, I think it's too soon. I don't think they would bring back Lesnar in case like unless they want to get into some big like controversy because this whole thing with Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar and all that. It's still very much an ongoing developing story. So Brock Lesnar is absolutely not coming back. Don't expect that. I'm gonna vote no for Brock Lesnar. We're gonna get back into the legend surprises a little bit. Somebody who nobody's really talking about. I wanted to point him out. Bubba Ray Dudley. So Bubba Ray Dudley, he was on the NXT ECW premiere. I haven't really been keeping up with NXT recently, but I did watch the NXT premiere. I mean, like the ECW NXT style thing. He teamed up with Trick Williams to take on Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. So and he looked pretty good out there, so I think he could come back in the Royal Rumble for a little one-off legend appearance. I think that would be cool, just like he did in 2015. But I don't really see like them doing the legend surprises anymore, like I said. So I'm probably gonna go no on Bubba Ray Dudley. But if they do call him up, I mean, I'm sure he would say yes. So I'm kind of 50-50. But I would say no for Bubba Ray Dudley. Don't expect that. This one hurts. This one hurts. But we got Joe Hendry. As you guys, this isn't a real Joe Hendry figure. It's a custom. But as you guys know, I believe in Joe Hendry. But jokes aside, I do not believe in a Royal Rumble 2025 appearance. I do not think it's likely. I don't know. I don't see them calling up a TNA guy to appear in the Royal Rumble. They did last year with Jordan Grace, and that was pretty cool. But as for Joe Hendry, I don't know. I don't see this. If it happened, that would obviously be great. I would love that. Joe Hendry would be awesome in the Royal Rumble. Go up against John Cena, maybe go up against Logan Paul. But as far as like Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble likelihood, I don't see it. I would love to see it, but I just don't see Joe Hendry in the Rumble, so I'm gonna vote no there. We got Alexa Bliss. Now, I personally think this is very likely. She's been off TV for a while, and I think she's trying to get back so she can be involved in like the Wyatt Six storyline and everything. She definitely needs to be in the Wyatt Six faction. That's definitely something that would be awesome. So I think a women's Royal Rumble appearance would be great. She would get a big pop, and I want her to bring back her Spiteful theme song. I think that would be great. Maybe maybe bring back the old gimmick. I don't know, but that would definitely get a great pop for Alexa Bliss to come out. So I definitely think she will come back. We got Big E. Now, if Big E is cleared, he is absolutely coming back in the Royal Rumble. Mark my words. But it just depends on if he does get cleared, because obviously this man broke his neck, and he's not going to take any bumps if he's not cleared. That's why he didn't really engage in any physicality in the whole New Day celebration thing. But I think him coming back for revenge on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods would be awesome. I'm just not sure about his neck injury, but if he would be cleared, he's absolutely coming back. So this might be a little bold, but I'm gonna vote yes. I'm gonna vote yes on Big E. It's probable that he would come. There's a small glimmer of hope that he would come back in the Royal Rumble. I would absolutely love it. He would go up against Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, extract his revenge. I would love to see that from Big E. Sort of the last legend surprise here. We got X-Pac. So X-Pac, he a lot of this is a name a lot of people throw around in the Royal Rumble, but it never really happens. And especially if they didn't do any legend surprises for either Rumble last year, I could only assume that it could be different this year. But they might not want to bring really out legends anymore. I sort of already explained why, because they just want the current guys to be in there to mix it up. But X-Pac, I'm gonna vote no on X-Pac. We got Asuka. So Asuka, I know Show Off Productions would be happy about this, but we got Asuka. I definitely think that she needs like a sort of a character repackage. She needs to split away from Damage Control. I just think Damage Control needs to split up at this point. Maybe be loosely connected, like kind of like Dakota Kai is. Like she's still like in Damage Control, but she's like going off on her own, doing the whole Intercontinental title thing. So maybe something similar here with Asuka. I think she could come back with possibly a new character, maybe go after Rhea Ripley. I think she will come back in the Royal Rumble. Do expect an Asuka return. I would love to see that. Now we're gonna finish this video off with some people I don't have figures of. Starting things off with Maven. Now, some people have been talking about Maven recently, possibly appearing in the Royal Rumble because I'm a big fan of his YouTube channel, and he did post a video a couple months back of "Will I return to WWE?" It's complicated, of course. I referring to Maven himself, and he dissected on whether he would return to WWE or not. So it seems a little suspect that he would post that video just a couple months before the Royal Rumble event. I definitely think a Maven surprise would be cool because he's definitely built up quite the following on YouTube. Maven is really popular on YouTube, and I feel like he's more popular on YouTube than he ever was in WWE. No offense. So now would be a really good time for him to make a comeback. He still looks to be in good shape. I think he could still go in the ring. Maybe try that drop kick spot again on somebody maybe like Drew McIntyre. I think that would be cool, like the Undertaker drop kick spot. But I don't really see Maven in this match, so that's gonna be a no. Some NXT talent that could appear. Trick Williams, he just lost his NXT championship. If he just lost the championship, obviously he lost it to Obafemi. So Trick Williams should be in this match. I expect a Trick Williams appearance and also an Ethan Page appearance. I think they could throw both of these guys in here. Two of the top stars of NXT. I think they could throw Trick and then All Ego in the same match. Maybe have them stand off. They've had some great matches against each other, centered around the NXT Championship. So I think that would be really cool for them to do that. possibly call both of them up. I feel like they would have to be on separate brands, not gonna lie. I would send Trick to SmackDown so he could do stuff with Carmelo Hayes, and then send Ethan Page to Raw so he could do stuff with CM Punk. That's just how I would do it if I were to call both of them up. But I expect both in this match, not gonna lie. And then speaking of CM Punk, the last person we have here today that I wanted to discuss is AJ Lee. Every single year since CM Punk returned to WWE, which would be last year and this year, didn't really think about that, but for last year and this year, people have been talking about AJ Lee possibly coming back to WWE. And CM Punk, he's been asked with this question a number of times, like, would AJ return to WWE? I think Roxanne Perez even told him to like talk to AJ about coming back, which I find pretty funny. But he's had some differing answers regarding the matter, a lot of differing answers. But I don't know. I really want to expect it. Last year I was really expecting it, like number 30. Oh my gosh, AJ Lee. It wasn't AJ Lee, it was Liv Morgan, I believe. But I don't know. I want to expect it. I want to get my hopes up because in recent years I've been trying to like not get my hopes up too high for shows really anymore. That's just how I've started to do it because like that way you're not going to be disappointed because I hear like a lot of people like, "Oh, I'm disappointed that this guy didn't come back. I'm disappointed that AJ Lee didn't come back in the Royal Rumble." So that's sort of how I'm watching WWE these days and just wrestling more broadly, trying to not get my hopes up too much. So I get just really pumped up when something like CM Punk returns, or like not like really disappointed when AJ Lee doesn't come back. So I don't personally think she's gonna come back. Would I love it? Absolutely. She could work some dream matches. She could face Rhea. That's one match I've always wanted to see. Rhea Ripley versus AJ Lee, two of the best females in the history of WWE. That match would absolutely slap. But as for AJ Lee coming back to WWE, I don't really see it, man. Not gonna lie. I hate to break this. I don't see it. I hate to say it, but I don't see AJ Lee coming back in the Royal Rumble. I would like it, but I don't think she will. That has been all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm very excited for the 2025 Royal Rumble, both men's and women's. They're always both amazing. I love Royal Rumble matches. Very excited for both. I know it was a little early, but I just wanted to get this video out there. Maybe to like start some early rumors possibly going into the Royal Rumble. But yes, this has been Jed Wrestling out.